Hey everyone, Brayden here, coming to you with a special video where instead of talking about any official news, since there's not much going on right now, we are going to be doing some Disney news discussion, where today we're going to be turning to the rumor mill to take a look at the long-rumored possible expansion plans already in store for the Disney Skyliner Gondola system, should this first generation of the system be a success when it opens to the public on September 29th, 2019. So taking a look at the Disney Skyliner Gondola system, it's important for us to know what we have so we can see how it could possibly be expanded. Now, in its first phase here, the Skyliner connects Epcot and Hollywood Studios to the Disney Riviera Resorts, Caribbean Beach, the Pop Century, and the Art of Animation. Also, for guests staying at the Epcot area resorts like the Boardwalk and the Yacht and Beach Club, the Skyliner will be servicing those guests via the International Gateway Epcot station, where from there, those resort guests can hop on the gondola and actually catch a ride over to Hollywood Studios without needing to get a bus or drive over or walk over or anything like that. They can just get right on the gondola itself. So for the first iteration of this system, that's already a lot of resorts this Skyliner system will be servicing. But if I were Disney, I think there would be some particular resorts and destinations yet to be connected to the system I would most definitely want connected as soon as possible. Because looking at the beautiful new Grand Destino Tower that just opened at Coronado Springs, which is a convention hotel that hosts all sorts of business conventions and houses a lot of business guests while they're here, I would want nothing more than for my business guests with those corporate credit cards being just one gondola ride away from all the high-end shopping and fine dining at Disney Springs, catered with this upper echelon of clientele in mind. That would be a lot of revenue with conventioneers, even ones that aren't staying at the resort, that are just there for the convention for the day. Afterwards, they could go over and enjoy some nightlife and food over in Disney Springs. That Skyliner system expansion would pay for itself very quickly, I think, if Disney were to do that. And the source of all these rumored expansion plans for the Skyliner, they started the minute we got the permits for the original stations. Because looking at the shape of the system currently and what it connects, you see that turn station before Epcot? If Disney wasn't planning to expand the system at all, and wasn't planning for the gondolas to cover anything more than what they are about to, this first iteration here, why would Disney put that turn station way out there and just not on the Epcot side where it would be closer, which would mean that they would have to build less of those poles to hold up the system. They have less gondola columns that they'd have to make. The actual ride time would be shorter. It'd be less expensive because the system would be shorter. So why would Disney add that turn station way out there? Well, if Disney was planning to, say, add the Coronado Springs hotel to the system in the future, that resort, now you have a turn station that would perfectly sync up with a new station that you could build right next to it, that would take you off towards Coronado and bring Coronado guests over. And from Coronado, you could even expand the system more, maybe even going towards the Animal Kingdom area, perhaps, not just the hotel over there, but also the theme park. Now, my vision of what this system will look like in the future, I think it's meant to be something that connects everything south of the Epcot monorail station. So the system starts on the International Gateway Epcot entrance, and then it connects to Hollywood Studios and all the hotels in that vicinity, then Coronado Springs perhaps in the future, maybe then Blizzard Beach right by there or beyond, even to All Stars. And then on the other side, we have the shopping and dining district with Disney Springs that Disney most definitely wants to connect in the future, I feel like. And then also in the future, they can add the Animal Kingdom and those resorts. That would probably be like one of the final expansions before the system would be near complete. And that would all provide resort guests with easier and quicker means of getting from A to B, which not only means more time guests spend in the parks buying food and merchandise, but also it could see the monorail effect, where by virtue of having a resort that is connected to this Skyliner system, there's an opportunity to raise room rates, to see those raise as well, because guests will be looking to be connected to the Skyliner system at a resort hotel. They want it to be connected, so it definitely adds some value to your room if you were to stay at a connected Skyliner resort, where you wouldn't have to worry about waiting for buses or anything like that with this high efficiency, continually loading transportation system right outside your hotel room. That would definitely add a lot of value. Now, a lot of people have been asking, what about north of Epcot? Would Disney ever have the gondolas go along there? Now, my instinct is no, because the imagery of having the gondolas back over by the Magic Kingdom, of course, where we had the original Skyway system, it's definitely a cool thing to think about, but I just don't feel like it's necessary when you already have the monorails from Epcot and north from Epcot. Epcot south from Epcot, I think there's a lot of potential to connect all those things with the Skyliner system. Literally everything south of Epcot, everything that isn't monorail system or above, going up towards the Magic Kingdom. The thing is, the monorails are in pretty bad shape. They're pretty worse for wear. So if Disney isn't planning on updating the monorails or upgrading them, we still haven't heard anything about that. There's chances that Disney isn't planning on upgrading the monorails. If that's indeed the case, then I feel like maybe we could see the gondolas go north of Epcot, just as a system redundancy to make sure that in the event, that the monorails aren't working, which does happen a lot these days, that you would have a sort of backup system for the deluxe guests, having it connect to the TTC or something like that. Although I feel like if Disney did that, it would be once the system was really built out, like it connected everything else that's on the south side of Walt Disney World property. The real sticking point right now on if we'll see the Skyliner system expanded is how will this system initially be received. If guests like it and it adds value, if the gondolas are nice and cool and comfortable, which judging by the feedback from cast members who have ridden them so far, they are saying they are quite cool inside, especially with the ventilation and everything. If the Skyliner stands up against the high crowd influxes, like what's going to happen after the Epcot fireworks every night, where thousands of connected resort guests are all going to be trying to exit at once through that one Epcot station, if the Skyliner can stand up and handle those pressures well, and based on the hourly guest capacity of the system, it very well might, we could be in for some major expanding to the existing system. And we're talking about this before the existing system has even opened, which is pretty crazy to think about. Speaking of the Skyliner, right before the hurricane passed through Central Florida, since all the gondolas had been taken off the line during the storm, Disney used that opportunity to tighten some of the cable on the Epcot line, as you can see in these photos from Blog Mickey, where the line is down near the ground. The wire these gondola cars are on is rated to hold weight several factors past the weight that will ever be put on it, so it's very, very safe. Still though, when you first install gondola line, it does require a bit of breaking it in. So if you've been to Walt Disney World recently, you might have noticed sometimes the gondolas are just sitting up there stationary on the line for even several days at a time. That is Disney breaking in the system and putting some static loads on the line. So that way the line can get nice and stretched out and warmed up, and then Disney can go in and tighten sections of it like they just did. So that way now all the breaking in has been done, and now the system is ready to go. That line is ready to go for when the system opens to the public. I want to thank you all so much for the support on these videos recently. I just want to keep improving and bringing you guys the best content possible. The problem in the past with these videos has been the videos are great, but they don't come often enough. I don't make enough of them. And as I mature into a young adult here, I'm trying to develop that skill of, consistency, work ethic, getting out a lot of videos and in a timely manner and something that brings value to you guys. Not just making content when I'm in the mood for it, but actually having that work ethic to bring it to you guys on a consistent basis. And I feel like if I can make that into a habit, which I've really been trying to do these last few weeks, and you guys have really been enjoying it, the sky is really the limit, and none of this would be possible without you. I just applied for an apartment in Orlando yesterday, so I'll let you know what happens there. Truth is, I'm not super confident I'm going to get this apartment. I still have some distance to go as far as growing my monthly income. So safe to say, being more consistent and bringing you guys more of this content, that goes hand in hand with making more money and actually being able to move to Orlando and do this full time for you guys and make even more content. So it's sort of all fueling itself right now, where the more videos I make, the more possible it is for me to move to Orlando, which means the more value I bring to you, which means the more videos I can bring to you in Orlando. So it's like this self-fulfilling prophecy, and I'm really, really thankful it's happening. So thank you guys so much for watching. From the Mickey Views Magic Studio, I'm Brayden. Have a magical day.